So, Mrs. Natalia Bayram, you are a lawyer. Welcome to the studio of Elasnet here in Athens. You are a lawyer in Moldova. You represent La Strada. It's an NGO organization. And you represent also the victims, in this case, of trafficking regarding Mr. Nikos Gеωργιάδη. You have been today in the police station. You have spoken to the Greek authorities about the case. What exactly have you told them?
So I work for La Strada organization since 2010. I'm a lawyer in Moldova, and especially I represent children, victims of trafficking and of sexual exploitation. So during the investigation that were held in Moldova and has been started in 2010, the police identified some of the victims, and I was assigned officially as the lawyer of the victims. During the investigations, it has been identified many of people involved in trafficking of children, and also it was identified one of the citizens of Greece who also were involved in this case. Yes.
In this case, the victims are how many?
There were identified 3 victims. All of them they are boys. At that time they were 16 to 17 years old. And if you want to ask me about these victims, all of them they came from poor families. And they are social vulnerable children who were in need of money.
We are talking here about a network of sexual trafficking, of sexual exploitation, trafficking of children between 9 and 15, 16 years old, very, very young boys.
Yes, that's true.
Only boys or girls also?
No, it was only boys, and that's true that they investigated a network of person involved in trafficking of children of the age of 9, 13 up to 16, 17 years old.
And this case was brought to a court, to justice in Moldova already?
Yes, there were 2 criminal cases, and in one of the cases we have convicted person. 4 persons were convicted for 20 years of imprisonment for committed trafficking of children.
And so you thought during the investigation a person was identified as a Greek citizen?
Yes.
And why did he have no court case, no criminal case? Why did he was not brought to the court?
So I can explain that during the investigation, the police find out that this Greek person, Nikos Gеωργιάδη, who worked in Moldova for UNDP, and also he was economic advisor of the Ministry of Economy, and he had diplomatic card. He had the diplomatic immunity. So according to the Vienna Convention from 1961, the diplomats cannot be criminally investigated.
Although he was arrested.
He was detained by the police and brought in the police station in order to be recognized by one of the victims, and the victim recognized him in live.
And what exactly was the accusation? What did the victim say?
The victim said that he was sexually exploited by the person who is staying in front of him in the process of the recognition.
So it was a violent act, or how was it?
You know, this is a specific crime. A sexual exploitation doesn't involve coercion or violence. The perpetrators, they know very well the psychology of the children. They know how to behave and how to become a friend of a child. In this case, it was a well-known fact that all these children come from poor families, and what they need money. So they offer them money in order to convince them to accept sexual intercourse.
So they have because we have read that Misha was told that he just had to make a massage.
Yes.
And not some sexual act.
Apparently, Misha met Georgiadis through Sivitsky Oleg, this citizen of Norway who was convicted in Moldova.
He's already convicted.
He is already convicted, and we have a final decision. So he was called by Sivitsky and asked to go to one Greek man to make a massage and also to earn some money. So Misha went to this apartment, and while he was doing the massage...
And then he recognizes the Greek citizen. He says he was the guy, but he was left to go because he had the diplomatic immunity.
He had immunity.
But you have tried to bring this case somehow to the court, and it was closed when? It was definitely closed when?
So I can tell you that in 2010, in November, when the prosecutor office received official letter from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Moldova that this citizen is a diplomat, they decided to stop the case. After that, in 2011-2012, General Prosecutor by himself, he cancelled that decision to stop the case, and they reopened the case. But I don't know how Mr. Georgiadis was informed about that decision. He came to Moldova and hired a lawyer.
A local lawyer.
A local lawyer, of course, and that lawyer went to court because we have such a procedure, criminal procedure, and he requested to cancel the decision of the general prosecutor, telling that at that time Georgiadis was a diplomat and he was protected by the Vienna Convention.
So the case is closed now in Moldova?
When I got the decision from the court that they decided to cancel the decision regarding the reopening the case, I make an official request to the Supreme Court of Moldova explaining what are exactly the procedural mistakes of the authorities. At the time when they decided to stop the case, it was, in my opinion as a lawyer, a mistake because they had to just to suspend a while the decision until the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will recall the immunity, or to wait until March 2011 because the diplomatic card was issued just until the March 2011. And after the suspension of the case, they could easy
start.
Just to restart, and it would be correctly and legally, but they decided to stop
it. Is there evidence for this case? I mean, is there evidence that could be used from the Greek authorities for this evidence?
I can say also as a lawyer who knows the law that when a person is officially recognized as a suspect person, yes, maybe you don't have enough evidences, but in this case, Georgiadis wasn't just recognized suspect person, he also was recognized indicted person. And when the prosecutor take the decision to indict a person, it means that they have all evidences to recognize him as indicted person.
We have read there are also videos from these cases and things like that. Are they on the hands of the Moldavian authorities now?
I think that Moldovan authorities have all the evidences in this case.
And they should send it to the Greek authorities now? How it works?
So how it works and what have to be further steps taken already by the Greek authorities. They have to start officially a criminal investigation. Within this criminal investigation, they have to request through a rogatory commission, it's such a procedure, from the authorities of Moldova to make a transfer This is the transfer of the procedure, and to claim all the evidences on all the case. And in this case, if Moldovan authorities receive such an official request, they are obliged, they must send
So
all the evidence.
The ball is now on the Greek side, they have to make this request.
Yes, the ball now is on the side of the Greek authorities. I can see and I hope that the Greek authorities will handle this case till the end.
So you represent the victims. The victims are now adults, I suppose. It was some years ago. What do exactly the victims want? What they ask for?
You know, I represent many victims in similar cases. And when I'm talking with the victims, I'm asking, what are your expectations? And what they are telling exactly to me, they want just the justice to be happened. But in this case, with Greek person, they don't feel that the justice happened for them.
The cases were not just in Moldova, but also in some neighbor countries, as we heard. Like you had cases also, you know about cases in Ukraine or Hyper-Dnestria. And I mean, these trafficking cases are also, the network has also worked in other countries,
yes,
neighbor countries of
this
Moldova.
This network and this citizen of Norway, he created a website, a special website inviting the gay tourists from all over the world to come to Moldova, and not only to Moldova but also to Transnistria. It's a region of Moldova which is now under, it's not under the control of the authorities. And these Norwegian citizens were inviting tourists to come to Transnistria, to visit Transnistria and to have gay escort from the boys from Transnistria.
So this site was just the window to go inside this world of trafficking and things like that.
Yes, that's true.
And has something changed since this case was known and you had these criminal cases in the court? Has something changed in your country?
In Moldova? So I can tell you that for foreign people it was a big sign that they cannot come to Moldova and to exploit our children. It was a big prevention case, I think, because since we closed the case and convicted the person, we didn't have the signs that any of foreign came to Moldova in order to exploit children.
Last question, how was your feeling talking to the Greek authorities? What did you tell them, and what do you expect now? What are the next steps?
My expectations are that they deeply will be involved in this case, and they really understand what are the specific of the crime, and I hope that they will correctly classify the crime, because trafficking of children, it's very complex, and you need specific knowledge to be able to handle the case. I hope that the Greek authorities will make justice here.
And did they ask you details about the case and things that you have already told to the hot dog? Because
yes.
that was the initiation for this case.
Yes, I told them the details. I told them everything I know related to this case, and I hope that they will do their best in this case.
They'll do their best. Okay. Thank you very much for this interview.
Welcome.
Thank you.